Peace family, Contra Queen here, and in this segment we are going to talk about how to quit your job and start living life, right? So the reason why I want to talk about this particular topic is I noticed that a lot of people ask me, Contra Queen, how did you start your own business? How did you just quit your job? Like, wasn't it hard? How did you do it? And I know a lot of people who have a beautiful, amazing, creative ideas. So many talented people. I see them all the time, even with my clients. When I do my readings with my clients, I see so much potential, so much talent and uniqueness inside of them. And the thing is, people are so afraid to quit their job because they feel like if they leave their job, they won't succeed. The question that most people ask is, what if I fail? But what if you fly? What if you actually succeed? A lot of entrepreneurs take risks, like we take chances. And so I want to do this video hopefully to give you guys, whoever's watching this, who's ever thinking about starting their own business, who's ever been having that itch to quit their job and never look back, hopefully this video will give you the push that you've been needing and looking for so that you can start living life like I did, right? So first things first, okay, how did this get started? One thing I noticed about me, well, most entrepreneurs too, it's hard to really figure out what it is that you want to do. Since I was in college, like, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. Even in high school, I was kind of like trying to get in where I fit in, but I couldn't find where I belong. I was like a square trying to fit in with circles. You understand? Like, I didn't fit in anywhere. So since high school, trying to blend in, it didn't work. Then going into college, trying to figure out a major that actually made me interested. I actually was into acting. A lot of people don't know that, but I had took up some theater classes, minored in theater, and I realized that maybe acting is not really what I wanted to do, so my family kind of talked me out of that. They was like, oh, you should do something that's going to pay you some money and things like that. And so, after I started, I guess, listening to everybody else, I was like, fine, I won't be an actress. I'm just going to major in communications. So I took up communications and, I graduated, but I still didn't feel fulfilled. It was like everybody was excited. They got their bachelor's degree. They're taking pictures. They're parading on Instagram, Facebook, like I graduated, da da da. But at the end of the day, not to sound ungrateful, for me, I was just kind of like, wow, all of that hard work that I put in over these 4 years for what? A piece of paper? A receipt? Like, I didn't really feel like all of that hard work that I put in for those 4 years was worth it. Like, I feel like I didn't get what I deserved. I feel like I was duped, right? So after I left college, I'm like, all right, boom. Now I'm in the real world. Now life really begins, right? And everybody thinks that once you leave college that you're gonna find your job, you're gonna get your man or your woman, you're gonna get the house, the car, and the life, right? That's what everybody thinks. But I hate to be I hate to bust your bubble. For some people, hey, it works out great. But for the majority of us, that's not really how it goes. A lot of my friends, they found it really hard to find a job. And, thank God I was fortunate enough to find jobs easy. But let me tell y'all, I probably worked in every type of job you could think of. I've done fast food. I've done retail. I've been working in the medical field, okay, working in hospitals, urgent care clinics. I've worked with computers. I've done, you name it, I've done. I worked with kids. I worked with the elderly, community service. I've done everything. And the reason why and not to mention, I did restaurants. I was a waitress. I was in hospitality. I did everything, guys. And the reason why I was picking up all these different jobs was because I was trying to figure out my purpose. I'm like, okay, I don't like working here, so let me try this job. I don't like this job, so let me try over here. And just like in college, in high school, it was like the same pattern, hopping from one thing to the next, trying to find my purpose, trying to figure out where do I fit in. And it wasn't until I was at my last job, I was working as a patient care rep, basically doing the paperwork and stuff inside of a medical center. And I was so bored there. I was just like, you know what, this isn't working for me. I need something else that's fulfilling. I'm not being able to create. You understand? Like, and I'm a water sign, I'm a Cancer, so naturally I have to create to feel alive. So I started doing some research on the computer, and I always had a thing for candles. So I'm like, you know what? I wonder how I could, like if I could make candles. Because I always bought candles from Yankee or whatever like that. And I started to notice, like, Yankee's expensive as hell. For all of that money I'm paying, I can learn how to make candles. And the way the universe works, I talked to a friend I haven't spoken to in that long, and she just started telling me, oh, you can make your own candles. And I'm like, really? She was like, yeah, research it. Long story short, I researched. I found out that making candles is not as hard as I thought it was. So I started making candles. And, I was giving it out. It was around Christmas time. So I was just giving it as gifts or whatever to friends and family. And so one of my friends was like, yo, you should sell these. And I'm like, sell these? Ain't nobody going to want to buy these. These candles, please. And then long story short, people started buying it. One person took the candles to somebody else. I brought it to my job. The people at my job was liking the candles, and boom. I'm like, yo, this might be a business. So I started selling the candles. And so I realized that doing the candle business and then doing this job over here wasn't really working. Then my job was starting to feel some type of way. The manager there was a bitch. And she was like, oh, you can't be selling candles here. Da-da-da. It's against policy, hating or whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. I'm like, I'm about to be out of this bitch anyway. So I ended up leaving that job because that's a whole nother story I'm not even going to get into here. But I left that job, and so I started actually going hard with my candles. I started going hard with my business. I'm like, all right, boom, boom, boom. The money was coming, everything was flowing. And so I won't lie to you. When you start your business, it doesn't always kick off as you would think it would. Sometimes it goes up and down, right? It went up and it went down. It was like the money was coming, but then during the winter season, I noticed like after the holidays, it's like it goes all the way down. And I didn't know about that. Remember, this is a learning experience. Me quitting my job, me becoming my own boss was a learning experience. It built my character, let me tell you. Okay, I've learned determination. I've learned how to pick myself up when I'm at my lowest of lows. I've learned how to have thick skin. I've learned how to accept rejection. I was right out there on Fulton Street, okay, downtown Brooklyn, selling my candles. Mind you guys, I'm an introvert. I'm a really shy person. Anybody that's watching this that know me from high school know I was a lone wolf. I stuck to myself. I didn't really bother nobody. I didn't really deal with no cliques. I was my own clique. I went wherever I wanted to go. Okay, and I was just quiet. I really didn't speak much. But that broke me out of that silence. Like, I had to learn how to communicate with people, how to adapt to different personalities that came to my table. It helped me to develop my communication skills, and it also helped me to break free from being an introvert, right? So how to adapt and to communicate with other people, how to deliver a message successfully, and how to sell my products, right? So last job I had a nice, oh my God, my friends was mad at me for leaving this job, right? And I wasn't really there for long. But the last job, very, very last job that I had, my last 9 to 5, it was paying me well. It was a city job. And anybody who knows about city jobs, like everybody say, oh, city job, oh, that's golden. You got to hold on to that, okay? But a city job ain't what y'all think it is. Let me tell y'all, okay? Yeah, it may come with its perks, its benefits, but it's not worth sucking the life out of you, okay? You got to be there for, I think, like 20 or something years for you to retire. And I wasn't even there for a whole entire year. And I looked around. One day I looked around and I was like, this place is miserable. The women that were there for like 10 plus years looked all washed up, mean, grumpy, old looking. You can see the stress in their face. They hated their jobs. And I was just like, I am not going to look like that. So at that moment right there, I made up my mind. I was like, this is not for me. I cannot do 9 to 5s no more. I've worked every type of job you could think of. I said, this is it. I have to create my own. I said maybe it was like a light bulb went off in my head. I was like, you know what? I got it. Universe, I got it. The reason why I don't fit in anywhere, the reason why I can't find my dream job is because I'm supposed to create it. Hello. So that goes to you too. If you can't find a job that you fit in, if you can't find something, then that means that you're supposed to come here and create it. Create what you want. If it's not here, then create it. That's what you come here to do. So I made up my mind at this, okay. And I was 24 at the time. I was 24, and I already made up my mind. I'm like, yo, this 9-to-5 life, this job life is not for me. And not to, throw shade on anybody who does work 9-to-5s. Hey, listen, do your thing. If it works out for you, get a job. Stay at your job that you at. The entrepreneur life is not for everybody. Everybody can't be a boss because we need workers. That's just how it goes. It's just balance in the system. We need workers and we need bosses. Okay? So, I made up my mind that day. I'm like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I didn't give no 2-week notice, no nothing, because first of all, I feel like that's stupid. Your job doesn't give you a 2-week notice when they're going to let you off or fire you. So why the freak should I give them a 2-week notice and let them know that I'm leaving? Okay? So, I only told one person. I was probably cool with one guy. And I said, yo, I said, Jack, I said, today's my last day. He was like, what? What are you talking about? I was texting him. I was like, I ain't coming back here no more. He thought I was joking. I left. I ain't never come back. The job was calling me, wondering where I was at. He was like, yo, you really did? I'm like, I told you I was done. So after that, life really started to kick up. Like, I was able to focus all of my attention into my business. Money was booming. The everything was just going well for me. I love the freedom. The freedom to get up when I wanted to. The freedom to get up and travel when I wanted to travel. I ain't have to worry about putting in 2 weeks notice of travel or putting in this or putting in and moving my time, my schedule around. It's just the freedom of life, yo. I don't think that humans are supposed to work from 9 to 5, because 9 to 5, those are like powerful hours right there. Like, basically the morning is gone and your afternoon is gone, and by the time you get home, you're tired. The sun is about to go down, especially like when it starts getting cold in the winter time. The days are shorter, so the sun is already down. You go to work when the sun is down, and you come out when the sun is down. You don't really get no sunlight, and that's why a lot of people are miserable when they work these hours, these crazy hours. Don't get me started on a night shift. You work the night shift, and that means that you sleep all day, so you never see the daytime. You're literally a vampire. So, but honestly, what really sparked my interest to leave my 9 to 5, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I did some serious soul searching when I was 23. When I was 23, I did some real serious soul searching. I took a trip to Africa by myself. I went all the way to Benin. One day I was meditating, something just clicked to me. Something was like, book a trip, go to Benin, go to Africa, go discover your roots, go do some soul searching. I ain't question it. I went online, I booked the trip, booked the flight, everything. It was secured, it was done. Told my mom, told my family, look, I'm leaving, I'm going to Africa, da-da-da. Everybody thought I was crazy. They're like, you going to Africa by yourself? You're going to get kidnapped? You seen that movie Taken? Oh, da-da-da. Like, people will always try to put fear into you. And I'm not saying that my family said this to push me away from my dream, but it was more so like they only cared about me and my well-being. Like, it was coming from a good place. But I'm telling y'all, in life, people who probably don't have the best intentions for you will try to instill fear in your heart because they're afraid to do it. Now, me, I'm fearless. I was like, look, I have so much faith in my ancestors and my spirits. I'm like, yo, wherever I walk, I'm protected. If I got to go all the way across the world, cross water, I'm still good because they always with me. I may look like I'm by myself, but I have a whole entire army surrounding me. And you best believe I brought my ass right back home, safe and sound in one piece. And my life just never was the same after I came back. Like, I really saw people over there in Benin. Like, I've been to the nice part and I've been to the nitty gritty part. Okay, like, I wanted to see the best of both worlds. And the people who was in the hood, they were looking like they was happy, but they was grinding. It was like the community effort was so serious. You see the women coming together. They was hustling. They had the vending tables up, vending, selling their products, selling fish, selling soap, selling butters, selling jewelry. The men was also hustling out there. And I'm like, yo, this is supposed to be a third world country, right? Or whatever. And I'm like, they hustling, they doing their thing. There ain't no excuse. I said, yo, in America, we got all of these resources. We got all of this privilege. And I'm like, and we making excuses not to have a business, not to quit our jobs, not to, have, and you don't always have to quit your job. Some people have their own business and they have a 9 to 5 on the side. But I'm telling you, for me, it just wasn't working out. I went to Africa, then I went to Atlanta, and then Atlanta really inspired me. I started seeing so many black business owners do their thing. I'm like, yo, I gotta start my business. And this was when I was 23, and that's when I was 24. I turned 24 when I was still at the other medical job, and that's when I started my candle business. And then one thing led to another. I quit my job when I was 24. I never looked back. And I've been self-employed ever since, traveling the world, meeting other business owners that are so amazing. It's just a wonderful experience. I will tell you guys that if you think that, quitting your job and then you think you're going to have all the freedom in the world, you will have the freedom, but you have to have self-discipline. Okay? You have to have self-discipline enough to know, all right, you know what? I have this business to attend to. Let me start setting my business hours. I'm going to work from this time to this time. Like, you have to set boundaries for yourself, because before, when I first started my business, I didn't really have a schedule. I would just work whenever I could, or I was probably working too much and I didn't have free time. And then I realized, I'm like, no, hold on, wait a minute. The reason I quit my job was because I wanted to have time to have fun. So I had to separate work time and play time. And so now that I got a system going, now that and y'all, let me tell y'all, having my own business has definitely taught me so much. Evanescence, my candle business, has paved the way so much for me. It's crazy. It helped me to find my voice. It helped me to find my independence. It helped me to get courage to step forward and to communicate with a whole bunch of strangers, look them in the eye and communicate with them to make a sale, to connect to people that I never knew before, to connect and basically make, how can I say, it. I've met so many amazing people along this journey, so many walks of life, just because I quit this job, just because I took the chance, just because I took the leap. And shout out to the guy, I can't think of his name right now, but shout out to the guy. I remember I went to my first vending event, and it was summertime, and he was an artist, and he went there, and we had a conversation. After the event was over, we was just talking one-on-one, and I was like, so what do you do? He was like, oh, I'm an artist. I said, okay, what else you do? He was like, no, I do this full time. I was like, you don't have a job? He was like, no, I quit. He said, I quit my job, and I just travel, and I sell my art, and this is what I do, because I really believe in myself. And ever since he had that talk with me, like, he planted the seed in my mind saying, wow, that's inspirational. Young, black, successful guy doing his own thing, selling his art. I'm like, yo, why can't I do that? And instead of being jealous, I got inspired. And that's why I always tell people there's a thin line between inspiration and jealousy. Okay? If somebody is doing a thing, don't be jealous. Don't hate on them. Be inspired by that. Be like, damn, how can I be like that? How can I get to where they get to? Humble yourself and ask the person, yo, how did you do that? I know I did. I was humble. I was like, how? Like, like, teach me. How did you do that? And so he was like, I just took the leap of faith. And he planted that seed in my head. Shout out to him. I feel like if he never would have planted that seed, who knows? Maybe I might still be working a 9 to 5 now and being miserable. 9 to 5 life just didn't work for me. But he planted the seed grew into a beautiful blossom flower, and here I am shining like a superstar. But yes, I have transformed so much within this journey. I ran into an old high school friend last year, and he seen me, and he was like, wow, you changed. He was like, you used to be so quiet. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of outspoken now. Like, I know how to express myself. I don't censor myself for nothing because I found who I really am. I found my calling. I found my purpose. And there's no greater feeling to knowing your purpose, to knowing why you're here. Once you know what your purpose is and what you're meant to do, all distractions will fall away. You'll start to attract the right people in your life that's supposed to be there. Old friends and people that you thought were your friends, they're gonna fade away. Most of them are gonna be like, oh, you switched up, you changed up, you made it, now you changed. That's what people always say. Oh, you changed now because you working now, because you ain't got a job, you think you better. No, I don't think I'm better than nobody. Okay, I really don't. I made a lot of mistakes on this journey. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I ain't gonna say, oh yeah, I quit my job and everything was great after that. No, it was hard. I lost a lot of good friends. Even my relationship. I was in a relationship at the time, and my partner, he supported me, but he kind of put me in a situation where I had to choose. These helicopters always flying over my roof. So annoying. Sorry, guys. But he didn't really support me. Like, it came to a point where he was always insecure, and it was like, if I had male clients, he didn't feel comfortable with that. I was losing my money, and he pretty much subliminally gave me like an ultimatum where it was like him or my business, and I'm just like, really? You really gonna make me choose? So, long story short, you see he ain't here, and I'm glad that I made the choice to go with my business. God, this helicopter is right over my damn... Y'all hear this? Crazy. That's crazy. The helicopter sounded like it damn near landed on my roof, son. Oh, gosh. Interfering with my frequency. Where was I? So, yeah, that relationship didn't really work out too well, and I had to kick back to the curb and really focus. I ain't gonna lie, I was hurt. I loved him a lot, but it's a lot. This journey requires a lot of sacrifice. A lot of sacrifice. And I learned how to channel that energy, that sadness, that anger that I was feeling into my creativity. I learned how to channel energy and use it to benefit me instead of hinder me. So I made a lot of amazing friends. Business is blossoming. The candle business expanded into something else bigger that I never even would have thought of. Like, who would have thought that I would be like a counselor, giving people consultations and helping people with their life? So God, or the Great Spirit, put me here to inspire other people, to wake up the sleeping giants, to inspire and motivate you to do that business that you've been thinking about doing, okay? So I know that you've probably been doodling and writing it down in your book and wondering and daydreaming, but I'm here to tell you that that dream doesn't have to stay a dream. You can make it into your reality. The universe is mental, so you control your mind. You control your universe. You control your world, right? So I'm here to tell you, take the leap of faith. Trust in yourself. If you're waiting for the right time, it's never going to be a right time. I'm telling y'all right now, I was waiting too. I was like, oh, when's the right time for me to quit? When's the right time for me to go out and vend it on the street? And one of my mentors at the time, he was like, you know what you suffer from? I was like, what? He was like, you suffer from analysis paralysis. And I'm like, what is that? I think that's what it's called. He was like, oh, that's when you overthinking everything and you're so busy thinking that you don't get anything done. So you're overanalyzing, now you're paralyzed, you're not doing nothing. He said, get out of that. He said, just take the leap of faith, just go. Learn along the way. He said, you're going to make mistakes, but just go. You'll figure it out along the way. Just leap, jump off. So I'm like, fuck it. Screw it. Let me just see where this takes me. And it's been a beautiful journey. It has its ups and downs, but was it easy? Hell no. Was it worth it? Yes. Yes, it was worth it. It is worth it. And would I ever go back in time and change it? Nah. Not a single chance. I would not. I love this boss life. I love being my own boss. I love writing my own checks. I love paying myself. And there's no cap on how much you can make when you're your own boss. You can make as much money as you want to. Just got to put the work in. You could do this, I'm telling y'all. This, you can do this. It's not as difficult as it looks. It's not easy, but I'm telling y'all, it gets easier along the way. It starts off hard, it gets easier. So, if you are thinking about starting your own business, if you want some guidance, if you want some counseling, some inspiration, book a consultation with me at divinemagic22.com, and I can help you on your mission. I can give you the resources that you need, the mentors, and there's so much free information out here. There's so much free mentors too. There's like some free business coaches out here that can assist you. So if you want to get that, if you want to get the resources from me, if you want me to help me to guide you on this path, on this journey that you are thinking about doing, then I will be more than happy to help you, because I love to see other small business owners. I love to see people turn their dreams into reality. Artists, freelancers, entrepreneurs, now is our time to make a difference, to make a change. The economy is changing, and we are here to make a difference. Like, we are the pioneers. We come to change this 9-to-5 world. The younger children that's coming in now, you know, they don't want to go to school to learn how to get a job to be a good worker. I feel like now it's our responsibility to teach the babies how to be good entrepreneurs, how to be a good business owner, how to own your own business, how to have your own craft, your own art. You understand? How to own your own gallery, your own company. You understand? Whatever it is, if you're into fashion, art, music, whatever, this is your time. Put your best foot forward. Do your best. That's the only thing I can tell you is, at least you can say you gave it all you got. So take a chance. Take a leap of faith. Give it all you got. 9 times out of 10, it's going to work out for you. If it don't work out for you, then at least you can say, I tried. Instead of looking back on your life and saying, what if? What would have happened if? What if I would have? That's the worst feeling, to wonder all of your life, 20, 30 years from now. If somebody else steals your invention, you're looking on TV and they're a multimillionaire, you're thinking, damn, I thought about that. I should have went forward with that idea. So don't be that person. Take that leap of faith. You can do it. If I could do it, y'all could do it. Trust me. I had a really low self-esteem. And I don't tell a lot of people that, but most of us are insecure. We just don't like to admit it. Kanye West said it the best. And I was just insecure. I didn't believe in myself. Like, I didn't think I was good for anything. I didn't know where I fit in. I didn't fit in nowhere. And then finally, when I stopped caring about fitting in, and I just decided I'm going to just pave my own lane and do my own thing, that's when life started working. So, you're not here to blend in and fit in. You're here to create your own journey, your own path, your own business. So, it's time you start creating. What you waiting for? Stop waiting. The time is now. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Don't push it off for tomorrow. Do it today. If this is the sign, if you've been waiting for a sign, this is the sign you've been waiting for. Now go. Get started on that dream. So until next time, guys, tell me what you think. Are you a business owner? Are you a freelancer, artist? What's stopping you from becoming your own boss? What's stopping you from quitting your job? What is stopping you? Drop down your comments in the comment section. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Conjure Queen signing out. Peace.